Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, Show Your Stripes. I am here with Will, as always.
What is good, everybody?
And we actually have some pretty we have some pretty good things to talk about today, which I feel like hasn't happened in a while. So definitely makes up for our last few podcasts have been pretty more on the lower side. So I think this one, obviously we took the series win against the Angels this past weekend. So I feel like, I mean, obviously we know the first game on Friday night wasn't too exciting, but it was nice to finish off with that series win this weekend.
Yeah, the game on Friday was legitimately. You probably could have slept through it, and it probably wouldn't have. You probably still would have known would have happened in that game. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time covering that one as compared to the other two. But so I think we'll go ahead and get into it. Obviously, we lost the first game of the series 1-0, and I literally.
Um, I mean, the Angels had 3 hits and we had four. I mean, nothing happened.
Yeah, I was at that game, and it literally felt like I was literally probably the biggest waste of my time of the entire season.
Yeah,
I literally said it. The fireworks display after the game for Fiesta Tigres night was probably more interesting than the baseball on the field on Friday night.
yeah. It was definitely not a very exciting game to watch. That's for sure. We really did not do much, and it was very long to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Because it's not like those other times in the past where you said like our bats didn't show up and the other teams did. Both teams' offenses didn't show up in this game. It just happens that the only run that was scored by the Angels.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say, going into it, I am so sad about this game for Manning in general because his start was actually really good.
Yeah,
So,
he was
I
pretty
mean,
damn good.
and now he has a decision and he's 0 for 1 on his starts now, which I'm hoping that his next start we can get that win for him because his starts have been relatively really good since he's come back from the injured list.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to go 7 innings, allow only 3 hits and that one run, which was on a home run, and you get the loss just based on that. It has to like just be so soul crushing.
Yeah. Because it's not even like only had one walk and then he had 6 strikeouts. I mean, it was a really good inning for him. So for that to be the reason that we lost just really sucks.
Yeah, it definitely was. I definitely feel bad for him because, like I said, our offense just couldn't get anything going off of Patrick Sandoval, and the Angels really couldn't get anything going against Manning either. It's just a matter of somebody had to take a loss in that game, and unfortunately, Manning got the short end of the stick on it.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
yeah, Patrick Sandoval was legitimately was unhittable. It seemed to me on Friday night, even though he was not. He was a guy who going in was 3-8 on the season. Um, throws a complete game shutout. Allows only 4 hits and strikes out 9. And like I said, they did not. The Tigers did not get a single base runner past first base. So all the home, and I believe they only went 1 hit above the minimum. Yeah, they had 28 batters as opposed to 27.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely was pretty damn stupid considering like all the hits we got. Um, 3 of them were killed off by double plays, and the
Yes,
only
it was we were so double play heavy on Friday. I mean, I literally I hate it just hurts to watch when that happens.
So yeah, they literally only had one base runner that they stranded on the base pass without knocking him out on the double play, and that was I think that was the Willie Castro single in the first inning. I could be wrong. I think that's what it was.
I think so. That sounds right.
And literally every other base runner he had at that point on was killed off in an inning-ending double play.
Yeah. It just not much happened other than that. I mean, at least we managed to get through the game without an error. So, give them the victory for that because, I've been keeping track of that lately. So I do have to say I was happy about that because I know that that was not the case for, I think, both the other games this series. So,
Yeah. I'm looking at the opposing lineup here. There were only three hits for the Angels, one by Mike Trout, the home run by Jared Walsh was the deciding factor. Kurt Suzuki had a single, and the only walk of the game by the Angels was to Shohei Ohtani. There was literally only one walk in the entire game. The Tigers did not walk at all. It was then the game ended, I believe, in only like 2.5 hours. Or no, not even. Time of game was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
yeah, I know it was a quick game, but yet it felt like it went on forever because just nothing was happening. I was
It,
expecting some like apps. I'm not even gonna lie, going into this series, I was expecting some like bullshit of a mess of a game just based on these two teams' track records this season. So then, like, when literally nothing happened on Friday, I mean, it also makes sense since neither of these teams seem to have good offensive days a lot. So,
yeah, it definitely was not a fun game from an offense. If you're like a fan of offense, the game on Friday night was not the one for you.
mm, definitely
So,
not.
moving on from that dumpster fire, we can go ahead and talk a little bit about Saturday's game, which I'll be honest, I did not watch a whole lot of this because there was the Lions game going on at the same time. Because apparently there was like so much going on downtown on Saturday night that they decided to schedule the Tiger game at 1 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess it was really a big win for Detroit on Saturday. I mean, you had the Lions and the Tigers win. Like, I can't say that probably happens too often.
Yeah, the game, the game. It seemed like in the Tiger game they won on Saturday 4-3, and it seemed to me that they actually had answers for everything that LA put up against them on Saturday, which says a lot because they don't do that very often.
No, and I mean, they ended with 11 hits. So going from literally 4 the night before to 11 the next day, I feel like that's just our constant cycle.
Um, Looking at it here, Riley Green went 2 for 5. Willie Castro 1 for 4. Uh, Javi Baez 0 for 4. Eric Haas 1 for 3 with a walk. Um, Harold Castro 1 for 3. Jamer Candelario 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. I believe it was a sac fly, or it could be. I'm not sure. Jonathan Scope 1 for 1, but then he got replaced in an injury on a outfield assist, and he did not play the rest of the series with, I think it was like an ankle sprain.
Yeah, I know he's in a boot right now, so they're trying to see if they're going to have to put him on the injured list or not. I think they were giving him a few days break to see if that helped or not on it.
So yeah, Cody Clemens then came in for him, and he ended up going 2 for 3. So I mean, that's about much as you can ask for from a guy coming off the bench in an injury replacement scenario.
Definitely.
Tucker Barnhart 1 for 4 with a run scored, and Victor Reyes 2 for 4 with an RBI, and I believe that was the go-ahead run back in the bottom of the fifth. Um,
Yes.
the Tigers had Tyler Alexander starting on Saturday afternoon. He gets the win, goes 6 innings, allows 7 hits, 3 runs, walks 1, strikes out 2, and allows a home run that was to Andrew Velasquez in the second inning. Um, Alex Lang scoreless 7th. Joe Jimenez a scoreless 8th, and then Gregory Soto walked 1 batter but had a clean 9th to get the save.
Shocking. I mean, these last few times, I do have to say, the last few times that he has been out there, it hasn't been horrendous. I mean, definitely times of nervousness, like usual, but I feel like he's maintained a decent outings lately.
Yeah, it definitely has been better for him, although I have a feeling he'll blow up at some point.
Oh
It's just
yeah,
kind of
for sure.
inevitable.
For sure. Definitely not disagreeing with that one.
The Angels had Reed Detmers starting for them on Saturday afternoon. He only went 4 1/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 3, and then that was basically it because the Angels bullpen only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk from that point on. So, um, yeah, it was definitely a more entertaining game compared to the
Oh
one
yeah.
on Friday night.
Yeah, no. It was nice to actually see a little bit of offense going on. And I mean, in retrospect, I still think they could have possibly scored a little bit more. I believe we left the bases loaded
I think we
once
did.
or twice during the game. I mean, there was 10 left on base for the team that night, so I definitely think that's a little bit high. And I know
It's
we've
actually
had games.
17 left on base. I'm looking at it here.
Oh yeah. I
Seven.
mean, either way, there's just too many. I mean, I feel that's been the story of this season. I know we've talked about it before with having such high numbers of like players being left on base. And obviously, we just have such a hard time driving in runs when we have two or three, if we have the bases loaded or if we have players on the corners. Like, there's really no reason that it should be happening so many times that we're not bringing in these runs. I mean, don't get me wrong, very thankful that they were able to score 4 runs and pull off the win. But I mean, I definitely do think that they're still lacking with bringing in runs.
Yeah, they definitely did basically the bare minimum yet on Saturday, but I mean, when you're playing the Angels, basically the bare minimum probably would be the way you could win a game. At least it showed me this weekend
Yeah,
because
definitely.
because in total in terms of like all 3 games, only 12 runs were scored by both teams.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. I mean, you have games coming through every night in the MLB that there's teams that are winning 10 plus run or winning with 10 plus runs scored. So, and that's only happened to us a handful of times this season.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, Friday night there was in that game where we lost 1-0. The same night the Orioles beat the Red Sox 15-10. So I mean that's basically 2 sides of a coin right there.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I mean,
looking at
or I was just going to say that there's obviously something that needs to be changed. I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's just a little tangent, but obviously something needs to happen, hopefully, between this season and next season with trying to fix this lack of offense. And I mean, I actually just saw the article on Twitter. You probably did too about how, like, really Robbie Grossman getting traded showed that there's obviously something going wrong within the organization and trying to fix because I mean they've already basically fixed Grossman's swing and he's been gone for what, like 3 weeks now?
Yeah, he really didn't show much to me. I didn't hear him in the news a whole lot up until this past week, and then I heard that apparently all they did was take him into the video room, showed him what was wrong with his swing in his left-handed swing, and they fixed it. And now he's hit, I believe, 2 or 3 home runs since he's come or in the past week or so, and all of them from the left side of the plate.
Yeah. So I
And
mean,
the theory is that they've unlocked like the 2021 version of him, and if he keeps it up, I'm gonna get even more and more pissed at Al Avila that or at the organization as a whole that they could not figure that out.
yeah. I'm just hoping that they're starting to realize that a little bit more and also make some changes before next season because obviously I feel that could be very beneficial for anybody because I feel like with all of these rookies coming up, I mean, it's been kind of clear that like when they come up, it's been good, but then they obviously have had some like falling, like not falling off, but like they've died down a little bit since being up, which I know is bound to happen. But I also just don't want to see like our rookies like Carpenter and Green like just epically fail because the staff is not helping them with their like swings.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if like when that new GM comes in that he can make sure that we have like the up to the date resources available for like video and stuff like this so that we don't have another season like this in terms of offensive struggles.
Yeah,
Because honestly, if they continue this cycle that Al put in place, I don't know how much I can take more, how much more I can take of this crap.
yeah, no, agreed.
But moving on, I guess we can go ahead and talk about the game that we're mostly going to cover because you and I both went to this game and watched it together.
Yeah,
Yeah, yesterday the Tigers won 4-0
we
against.
actually shut out another team. It wasn't us
Yeah,
getting shut out.
yeah, and I think it was like the first time since like fucking June that that's happened.
I believe it was June 1st is the last time we shut out a team. So,
Which you'd think it would have had another, like at least had another one by now, considering the amount of pitching talent that we have, but
you were, I
apparently not.
don't, so I mean, but it was actually a pretty good game to watch for sure. I
Yeah,
mean, you started off right with a bang, so
yeah, um, yeah. Obviously, the Angels threw Otani on the mound, and the first pitch he threw to Riley Green ended up 448 feet to right center field, and almost hit the brick wall back there.
I mean,
Um,
just the sound that came off that bat was so loud.
like he didn't miss it. Like I don't even. I think it was like it was like a fastball right down and in, but it was right in the wheelhouse of Riley Green, and he did not miss it.
Mm-mm. It was
And
pretty. It was an awesome way for that game to start. That's all I can say.
and the cool thing is they did not get Riley Green out in the game yesterday. He finished with a 2 for 2 night or 2 for 2 day with 2 walks, so they did not get him out.
He did awesome yesterday. I mean, it was nice to see a good day for him because I know there haven't been as many lately. So for him to be playing like that yesterday was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, it was really reassuring for the people who had been like so down on him recently,
Yeah. And
concerned
I
about
mean,
him.
of course, we had another Riley Superman grab too, which always makes. Was that yesterday or Saturday?
That was
Actually,
yesterday.
that was yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
we always.
we were both in the concourse when that happened. So I only found out about it because I don't know about you, but I heard it on the radio and that was being piped in, and I hear him. They're saying he's gonna dive and he makes the catch, and I'm
Mhm.
like, and I put our hands up and I'm like, okay, he did it again, and I tweet about it, and I didn't see the play until about like 15, 20 minutes later when I looked it up on my phone.
Uh huh. No,
So
it was good. I always love seeing that. It definitely brings some excitement into the game.
Yeah, it definitely was cool. I mean, there was literally one thing for everybody. If you were a fan of defensive gems, there were those. You had a home run rob by Victor Reyes in the fourth, I believe.
I
In
think
the rain, I'm like more than the less.
yes, it did start raining pretty hard there for a little bit, but I'm glad, I mean, they kept it going, so I'm really glad we managed to not have to deal with the rain delay yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a bunch of singles. Tigers had three doubles, a triple, and a home run. So really, there was literally everything for you. You had a shutout, great pitching performance. I mean, literally everything that could have went right actually did in this game, to at least to me.
Yeah, and I mean, Erod's start was honestly like it was good for him coming back for the first time since being on the restricted list.
I'm sure he had like a pitch limit. That's probably why he only went 5 innings. Otherwise, he probably would have went higher than that.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm thinking.
he went 5 innings, allowed only 4 hits, struck out five, and allowed 3 walks, and gets the win, his second of the year. And then the four pitchers then came in, worked an inning each. Will Vest in the sixth went clean. Jason Foley in the seventh allowed a hit and struck out one. Andrew Chafin allowed a triple and struck out the man leaving him at third. And Gregory Soto allowed a hit but struck out one and got out of the game. So yeah, I mean, the main story to me was that the Tigers were actually able to get to Otani, which I know that he left the game with a stomach virus, so I don't know if that really had anything to do with it. But but yeah, Otani was not the same guy that I saw last time I saw him in person.
No, and I know a bunch of people on Twitter were also saying that. So, I mean, I guess that easily could have been a case of why. But I mean, I also think they actually just held up pretty good yesterday, which I feel like we don't get to say often. So it was actually like very nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, there was Otani ended up going only 4 innings and then being pinch hit for after the fact because of that stomach virus that I mentioned. He went 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all were earned, walked four, struck out two, and allowed the home run to Riley Green. And then from that point on, they had in the fifth inning they brought in Jimmy Herget, who in 2 innings allowed 2 hits in a run, struck out one, and then that point on the seventh and eighth were clean for the Angels bullpen. So it was definitely a fun game. If you're a fan of the offense, it was actually a decent game to come to.
Yeah, it was it was nice. And then I mean, the one I do feel, I mean, it was nice to see, and I think we were watching it when it happened, but I mean, we did end up with an error yesterday, but it wasn't by bias, so I
I think
know.
they originally called it 2 errors at one point, but I'm
Mhm.
looking at the stats here. I guess they overturned that because now there's only one error on the chart, and that's the catcher's interference that was given to Barnhart that we
Yeah,
saw.
yeah. At first, did not think that was actually going to get overturned, but it was a very clear interference.
And it's
So,
and like I mentioned to you, it was the second time that I've seen in a matchup where between the Angels and Tigers where they ruled catcher's interference. The first time was in that game last year where we ended up blowing that giant lead. And honestly, catcher's interference is just I don't understand why it gives you the free base, and I never will. But I mean, at least it didn't hurt us in the way it could have.
it was just overall, it was just a good game to see. The last game that I was at before this one, I mean, I hadn't been to a game that they won since I think July. So it was just nice to be able to sit and watch and actually enjoy the game without getting very frustrated.
Yeah, there was really no game in this series this weekend that necessarily pissed me off. I mean, because I had a feeling with the amount of shit teams on the field that there was not going to be anything that really pissed me off,
Yeah.
considering the Angels are 52-69 and we are 47-76. So they're really about the same in terms of record wise.
Yeah.
So I mean, there really was nothing in the entire series that really just frustrated me, other
No.
than maybe Soto just being wild at the beginning. I mean, he did get out of it in the
Yeah.
ninth yesterday, but at the beginning I thought the
Oh
worst case
God.
scenario.
Here we go again. I mean, what was it? I believe it was the last game I was at before yesterday was July 4th. And I think that game, like Soto really almost lost it for us. So I was just hoping that wasn't gonna happen again. Because I mean, no matter how much of a lead we had, still sometimes I feel like anything could happen with this team. So
Yeah.
it was just nice to have the win for sure.
And yeah, it'll be nice to see, and it'll be hopeful that they can continue this streak up into the next series, which they start tomorrow. Because today, when we're recording this, it is an off day, which is feels weird because we have not seemed to have a whole lot of those this season.
No, I definitely think it's hopefully it will be good for them because I feel like they are these last like 2 months at least, they have been just playing a lot. And I think the off day hopefully will be good for them before this series.
Yeah, tomorrow the first of only two starts with the San Francisco Giants at Comerica Park. This wraps up that four-game home and home series, and also wraps up interleague play that we'll be doing this year. Um, and I believe when we played them in San Francisco, I believe we split that series. So whoever wins so like I said, it depends on who if we get swept or if we sweep them. Or split the series. It could go either way in terms of that season series.
Mm-hmm.
But tomorrow's game one, 7:10 tomorrow night. It is Carlos Rodon going up, I believe, for the second time against the Tigers this season. Oh my goodness, hold on a second. I'm just looking at this because I got on my left monitor. Joe Kelly has nailed back-to-back batters on back-to-back pitches against the Royals. One of them straight in
Dang.
the leg and the other one in the helmet.
Ooh, sounds like some Soto shit there.
Actually, no, the second one was in the shoulder, but it looked like to me when I first saw it. So I'm looking at the main monitor, and my left eye is on the other game. He hits first guy he hit in the leg, and the second guy he hit in the shoulder. But I mean, at least this time he said, "That's my bad." He put his hand on his chest. He said, "Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry." Which says a lot because I know Joe Kelly in the past has hit guys on purpose. So I mean, at least he's owning up to it. But
Yeah.
moving back on track there, I got a little distracted, obviously. Carlos Rodon will pitch for the second time against the Tigers this season. I believe he pitched in that series back in San Francisco. I just got to pull up that line here because I'm not sure how we fared against him. Here we go. June 28th against the Tigers, he took the win. Went 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, and it was the only one he earned, and struck out 4. Um, and I believe that was the one game we split against the Giants. I'm not sure who was pitching in that second game. I gotta pull it up here because, quite honestly, I forgot about that series. It was so quick.
Yeah.
I know. I think we won the second game of that series, and it was the day game. Or no, we won the first game. I'm sorry. All right, no, we did. No, we won the second game. I'm looking on the website for the Giants right now. Let's see. Tigers won the first game of that second game of that series, 3-2, and that was when Alex Wood was pitching. So we will not see him this series. Um, the Tigers will have Drew Hutchison pitching in game one tomorrow night. He is 1-6 with a 4.23 ERA, And I forgot to mention, Rodon is 11-6 with a 2.89 ERA. So that, like I said, that could go either way. Although I'm expecting Rodon to be dominant because that man
Yeah.
quite frankly owns our franchise from all his years
Yeah.
playing in Chicago.
Mhm. I definitely could see it not going too hot for us tomorrow unless our offense shows up again. I
Yeah,
think
it'd
that's
be
going to
nice
be
if they could actually get some hits together off of Rodon, although I'm not expecting them to.
no, we'll see. I guess. I mean, I feel it could be a 50 it could I feel it could go either way with this team anytime. So,
And the Wednesday game is a 1:10 start. It'll be Logan Webb for the Giants. He's 11-6 with a 3.08 ERA against Matt Manning, who, like we mentioned before, is now 0-1 with a 2.81 ERA. So that one could go either way because the pitching matchup's pretty much equal on it to me.
yeah.
But but um but yeah, that one those games should be fun because it'll be the first time that the Giants have come to Comerica Park since I believe 2017 or 2019, one or the other.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. That will be fun to watch for sure.
I mean, of course, every time they come here, I have bad memories of 2012, so that is the one downside to that. So, but but yeah, we'll go ahead and preview the next series since it's such a short segment here. The next series starts Friday. Um, Tigers and Rangers in Arlington, and it'll be the only time we play them in Arlington this season, and I believe that'll wrap up the season series with them. Um, First game Friday at 8:05 p.m. I believe that should be Tyler Alexander pitching for the Tigers on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, because we're doing the four-man rotation.
Yeah, that's what I believe. So,
And obviously the Rangers one is not listed here, and I'm sure I'll mention it when we do the next episode covering the next two games. But Saturday's game is a 7:05 start. That one should be Eduardo Rodriguez versus whoever the Rangers threw out there. And then it should be Drew Hutchison pitching on Sunday afternoon at 2:35. And then we come home again for, I believe, a 3-game set starting Tuesday, August 30th against the Seattle Mariners. So J-Rod and company will come to town.
I'm excited to watch those games. I think
And I know,
we have some interesting games coming up.
yeah, they're gonna have to wrap up a lot of the out of division play because I know a lot of the month of September is a bunch of games in division.
Yeah.
Because like compared to that, we got in the month of September. I'm looking at it here. I'm just gonna kind of glance over it. Friday, September 2nd, 3-game set starts with the Royals. Monday, then after that we have a 6-game road trip. 3 in LA against these Angels that we just visited. 3 in KC against the Royals. Then we come home again, play six games. 3 against the Astros. 3 against the White Sox. And then hit the road for 6. 3 against Baltimore. 3 against Chicago again. And then the final homestand of the season, which will start on the 27th. Go through 3 against KC. 3 against Minnesota. And then we have a 4-game set against Seattle in Seattle that'll wrap up the season, with a game on October 3rd at 9:40 p.m. A doubleheader on October 4th, which that'll be. I'm looking at that here. that doubleheader starts at 6:10 p.m. That's when game 1
Just
starts.
looking at that, that is going to be a long ass night.
Yeah, game 1 starts at 6:10, and then like game 2 would probably start at like 9:30 or something like that.
Yeah, that's going to be a long night.
And then the season will wrap up on September 5th with a 4:10 game against the Mariners. And I
Oh,
hope by then we will probably know if they're going to be putting out their starters, because I don't know if they'll make the playoffs or not.
yeah,
And
that's
as I'm
going to
saying
be.
that, the White Sox have just walked in a run,
God,
so the Royals are now leading 5-4.
it's crazy to me that like this is all we have left of the season.
Yeah, the season has just flown by, for better or for worse.
Yeah, either way, it's crazy.
And quite honestly, I'm not looking forward to the fall. I hate the hate the months where like there's no baseball and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
obviously football will come back, but like it's gonna be tough.
Yes, I have no idea what I'm going to do with myself after this baseball season is over.
So I think that'll just about wrap up this episode, and
Yeah,
we will go ahead and let you guys know what we do, because we've been talking about what we're doing for the show later on, and hopefully we can get a couple dubs against the Giants, and we will see you guys then. Anything else you want to say?
just thanks for listening. We appreciate all of you guys' support.
Thanks for listening, everybody.